Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And on today's video I want to share with you 8 reasons you shouldn't depend on your job alone. Now quickly, I want to say this: I'm also going to be doing another video on reasons why getting a day job is also important. I'm going to be talking on both sides because every coin has two sides. You understand that now? So today's video I just want to quickly share on reasons why you shouldn't depend on your job alone. We are living in strange times, and from the events that took place last year, you will agree with me that a whole lot happened, and it's of great importance that as you continue your journey in life, that you continue your journey with some of these truths in mind, so that when life happens, it doesn't take you unaware. Now, the first reason why you shouldn't depend on your job alone is because the security that it offers is not long term. Yeah, that's something that you've got to understand. Everybody wants to get a job. Everybody wants to have a place where they go to that is fetching money for them. But while that is happening, you've got to understand that this particular part may not necessarily offer you a long-term security, and that's because anything can happen. The company could fold up tomorrow. They could say they don't need your services any longer. And even if you're working with the government, after a number of years you will still have to retire. And when you retire, that very moment you retire, they could give you your retire benefits and all that. But if you haven't learned the art of financial management, you could still go back to square one. You get the point now? So that's something that you've got to understand. Now, remember, I'm not saying that getting a job, it's not a good thing. That's not the point of this video. I'm just saying these are some of the reasons why you shouldn't depend on your job alone. The second reason here is that you can be laid off at any time because it's not your business. That is somebody else's business. You've got to understand this. Why this is important is because, now, of course, we don't pray for anything bad. We don't pray for anybody to lose their job. You've got to understand it. That is far from it. But from last year's experience, you will agree with me that anything can happen. So many families got hit as a result of this. Many people got laid off, and even there are some people who got laid off today who have not recovered. That's the truth. They've not recovered. You get the point now? So this is one reality that is there that we cannot ignore. It's a reality. It's a possibility, even though we don't pray for it, but it is a possibility. That's one reason why you have to be smart. The whole essence of this is that while you are doing your job, while you are going for your job, while you have a day job, you should start thinking of having a side income or a side hustle. This will go a long way to help you a great deal. Now, the third reasons why you shouldn't depend on your job alone: it is not always enough to cater for all your needs. That's the truth. Salary is never enough. It is never enough. You know the way salary comes. It comes once a month, and it comes at the end of the month. And a lot of times when the salary comes at the end of the month, there are a lot of expenses waiting for it. So in most cases, as soon as the salary is coming at the end of the month, what is going to happen? All those things that are waiting, they will just come and take away all the money. You'll be shocked to discover that just in the first week of the month, you're already broke. And then the same thing repeats itself the next month, like that. And then when you are working with a company that is not paying you consistently, that sometimes delays the payment, maybe for 1 month, 2 months, they've not paid you, you discover that you will even be in debt before your salary comes. And when your salary comes, you start using the salary to pay off your debt. And this is the reason why you have to spend your early days now to start thinking. Of course, I'm not saying that getting a side hustle is something that you will just decide today and start doing. That's not the point. I'm just saying that there are lots of other opportunities available to you, okay? And you have the opportunity now to look in the direction of those opportunities. Don't close your eyes to it the way most people have done. Look in those directions. There's something you need to learn about it. Maybe you need to learn about investing or something. Whatever it is that you need to do to start earning on the side, then you should go ahead and do that. That's the whole essence of this very video. You get the point now. Now, the next thing I've written down here for you is that depending on your job alone could prevent you from tapping into your creative skills. A lot of times, because people are already working, they close their eyes to their creative skills. You see people who are heavily skilled, and those skills could go a long way to start generating income for them. But just because they are not looking in that direction, they don't think that they should go in that direction. And so in the process, they are leaving a lot of money on the table, and their focus is just on their job alone. And this is not good for you. So if you want to tap into your creative skills or some other skills that you have learned, then don't depend on your job alone. Look in this direction as well, because it will go a long way to help you. The next reason I've written down here for you is that it could prevent you from living the life of your dreams, which is true. There are people today who all they do is just work, month in, month out, year in, year out. They don't have time to go on vacation. They don't have time to actually enjoy themselves with their family, or even enjoy the money that they are earning. That's one of the reasons you shouldn't depend on your job alone. At the end of the day, when it comes to financial freedom, it's all about freedom. It's all about having freedom to live the life of your dreams. It's all about having freedom to create memories that will last with you over the years. You get the point now? So that's something that you really need to look into. It will go a long way to help you. Okay, now the next reason that I've written here is that it could affect your social life and relationship. I remember speaking to a young man, and he was lamenting, was saying that for a space of 2-3 years he has not been able to do anything for himself. It's just all about work, and the little time he gets from his place of work is just to rest and rush back to work. So if you are depending only on your job, it could affect your social life. When your friends are wanting to meet up, you are not able to meet up with them because you are hooked up. And these most times have affected relationships. It has affected marriages and all that. Of course, not all jobs really choke people, but this is one of those things that you should think about when you are working, so that you don't have to depend on the job alone. Now, another reason you shouldn't depend on your job alone is because it could become a source of major setback in your old age. Now, this is very important, because a lot of times what happens is that we use our youthful age to work, to develop other people's businesses, because see, that's what it is. When you are working, you are helping someone else to develop their business, which is not a bad thing, because at some point we all have to work for somebody, right? We all have to do that. I mean, service is one thing that everybody has to do. You've got to learn about it. But the thing is, there is a time to serve and there is a time to build your own, which working, doing your day job, your 9-to-5 job, that can prevent you a great deal from working on your own. So imagine after working for 35 years, developing other people's businesses, or 40-something years, developing other people's businesses, you discover that in your old age, when you have retired, you have nothing to fall back to. Now, it's not just about money here we're talking about. We're talking about, by the time they have retired, by the time you have retired, you should be able to have your own business that you fall back to. This time around, you are there, to match time. You are there to stay purposeful. Because what happens a lot of time that I've seen is that when most people, when they retire, they become useless. No more jobs, they are not going anywhere, so they are just there. Even if you've kept retirement fund, it's not about the money. What are you going to be doing with your life? Are you just going to be living on the beach and traveling from one nation to another, all because you're retired? No. Remember, when you retired, you did not retire from life. You only retired from your job place. But most people, their mindset about retirement is that they retire from the job, they retire from life. It shouldn't be that way. When you retire from your job, you should be able to go back to a business that you've been building over the years. And through that business, you have a purpose. Through that business, you have something to leave, a legacy to leave for your children. Your children cannot inherit your job, but they can inherit your business. You see that now? So these are some of the things that it could become a major setback. I, for one, I don't want to retire from life. Even in my old age, I want to still have a purpose. Somewhere, when you wake up in the morning, you are going to that place on a mission, and nobody will give you this in your old age. You cannot even take your CV at the age of 60 and say, I want to go and look for a job, or at the age of 70, you say you want to go and look for a job, nobody's going to employ you. I'm 60, there's some firm may employ you at the age of 60, but when you're 65, nobody's going to employ you. So what's going to happen then? And guess what? All your children, they would have left the house. There's nothing to keep you company. It's just you and your spouse. But if you guys have created something over the years, that's something that the both of you wake up to that purpose. And this can go a very long way to also, help you live longer, because you are still working. Your body mechanism is still undergoing that day-to-day activities. But if you just retire and sit back home and retire, now remember, retirement is not a title, it's a phase. When you get to that phase, I'm going to do a video on retirement one of these days. When you get to that phase, what next? Think about. So this is something that you should consider, consider it with all seriousness. It will go a very long way to help. And finally, one of the reasons you shouldn't depend on your job alone is that it could make you just an average person. When you are living paycheck to paycheck, a lot of times it is never enough. You just keep like a rat race. But if you're able to develop your business, then it will help you a great deal. Am I saying it is all businesses that have succeeded? Of course, there are some businesses that have packed up, but nobody wants to go into business to pack up, right? Everybody wants to go into business to excel, to succeed. And if that's going to happen, then we've got to consider some of these things, So that's it for today's video. I believe that you've gotten value from this video. If you have done that, I want to encourage you. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. Like the video, share with your friends and families. And I'm going to be doing the next video on why you should get a day job. Okay, so that's something that you need to work on. So that'll be all for now. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep cracking the money code. God bless you.